Hey you all, hope y'all had a good day so far. God's been wanting me to talk about this. So why would somebody want to, do witchcraft on you? So you may be feeling like I'm not even, where I want to be. I'm not where I want to be in life. I'm just, I'm still just doing me. I'm not, I don't have nothing right now, so why would somebody want to do witchcraft on me? Well, you have to remember the book of Joseph. Remember, Joseph had, he had a dream. God, he had favor with his dad. He had favor with God. And that sparked jealousy. That sparked envy. That sparked coveting, covetousness within his brothers. So they ended up selling him. But what people, use for evil, God will use for good. But, some people will be able to see the favor on your life and be able to see things about you before you are even able to see them, or you are able to even, notice that about you, because your steps are being ordered by God. You may not know that you are already going through the process of where you are supposed to be, but people will see prophecies. Sometimes people can see them in dreams. Sometimes people will even look at, your life and look at certain things. God's been actually talking to me about that, and he pointed out to me that when the group of witches had came to me, they were a coven, it was like 4 or 5 of them. But at the time that they came to me, that was actually them in real time looking into my life, and trying to see if I was real or not. However, they didn't. That was them actually doing that in real time. And then that's when the SEX dreams came and the delay dreams came, where they grape me. Those dreams happened right after that, because that's when they were actually doing the spell work. So that's why God will wake you up and you have to rebuke and cancel those attempts, because those can be delay spells, or they're trying to get you into covenant with something. You also have to remember, sometimes the enemy can masquerade spirits, so you may think it's something that it's not, and that's why you have to always discern in the spirit what type of dream it was. What was the atmosphere of the dream? Was the dream dark? Was it this way? What is God telling you other than what you are seeing in your visions? Because the closer you get to certain things happening in your life, the more the enemy is going to come and try to intercept those things. And you may not have any open doors. You may not be the one that has open doors or anything like that. But say you're in a marriage, or you have a partner or something like that. They may just be, having a friend or talking to somebody, or something like that, and they're talking about it, or they mention you as their partner. And this can go for women and men. Say that you have something like that, and they're talking and opening that door. Now all of a sudden, because you were talking about it, or you had mentioned it, now all of a sudden that person has become a monitoring spirit, or they start looking into your partner, and now they are starting to attack your partner because of that. And that will spark jealousy, envy, because their attitude is mainly like, well, if I can't have them, then they can't, or if I can't have them, then nobody can, stuff like that. So it will start to be like a controlling or a manipulative, because once you start talking about that stuff, because when you're talking to people, you may not know, you're thinking everybody's going to be happy for you, or you may think that people are, really your friends, and they, really are trying to be, friends with you. But eventually they may have those spirits, not, they may be hiding those spirits. So then when you do say stuff like that, then all of a sudden those spirits are manifesting, and now they are monitoring, you know, because all it takes is a picture to do witchcraft on somebody. So they could look them up on Facebook, they could look them up on their social medias, however, and then all of a sudden now they have their picture and they're doing witchcraft on them. But always remember that. And I remember, like, why I say when it's actually happening, the spells are happening, paying attention to that, because I remember, yeah, so when they had did the it was when they were doing appearance spell work on me, which they're still trying to do it to me. And but I'll be eating that stuff up now. But yeah, so I remember God had showed me where somebody was protective of me in the spirit, and then it has switched to the actual spell work. And it was, you know, them trying to put a ring on me, you know, to marry me to this dude. And then also, it was also the spell work on my face, you know, where I had the teeth falling out, and that was spell work, you know, to my body, basically, you know, appearance work. So you just have to be very discerning about that type of stuff, you know, discern your dreams. I know it's hard to kind of discern in the spirit, because even with the SCX dreams and the great dreams, you know, it's hard when you're in the spirit to, like, it was hard for me to determine, and then you may have fell into that, which ultimately doesn't stop God's plan, but it can put a delay, but ultimately that doesn't stop anything. So, you know, you just have to learn how to fight against that stuff. But yes, people will do spell work, and you may think people are harmless. You may think that they are not going to do that to you ultimately, but you never know what hidden feelings, what hidden things they have that will spark them, and, you know, make those spirits manifest in them to where now they are trying to sabotage you. Now they are trying to, you know, delay you. Now they are trying to come against, you know, your loved ones, or come against. That's why I don't post my son on, you know, every social media. I just don't do that, because I know people will, all you need is a photo, and they will take that photo and use it to do harm and do spell work against you. So yeah, so God just wanted me to get on here. Sometimes you don't have to do nothing. It could be somebody has a door open and that's why you're getting attacked, or, you know, people are just wanting to tempt you. But usually spiritualists are not just going out and, you know, touching you. It's usually people that are closest to you. But all right, y'all, I hope y'all have a good day. I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye.